on in conversation with F360 Lifestyle. We are joined by Simone Gibertoni, the man leading one of the world's most exclusive longevity institutions, Clinique La Prairie. As the brand expands across the region, from Dubai's longevity hub at one and only One Zabil to the upcoming ultra-luxury health resort at Amaala, we explore how science, wellness and lifestyle are merging to redefine what living well truly means. Hi Simone, how are you doing today?
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today.
You're welcome. So Simone, tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
I'm a Swiss Italian, now living in Switzerland, in Montreux, where there is Clinique La Prairie, which is a beautiful place on the lake not far from Geneva.
Nice. And Switzerland is such a beautiful place.
Absolutely.
I've never been, but
It's
heard a lot
fantastic.
about it. Yeah. So, like, you keep visiting Dubai?
I keep visiting Dubai, yes. Of course, I was coming much more when we decided to launch the hub. This was 2 years ago. We are now sitting at one and only One Zabil when we have our first longevity hub in GCC. Which is a concept which is very important for us. It's called Longevity Hub by Clinique La Prairie. And this is the development of our concept of our health ecosystem. If you like, we can elaborate a little bit more about what we are doing all over the world later.
Sure.
And for us, of course, Dubai is a city which is very important. We have a lot of clients coming from Dubai to Montreux. And this hub is a way for us to follow up and, of course, to have a new public joining our longevity revolution.
So, for people discovering Clinique La Prairie for the first time, how would you explain your mission in the simplest, most human terms?
That's a very good question. We are used to say that our mission is helping and inspire people to live a longer, healthier and better life. Let me say, first of all, better, healthier, of course, and then longer. It's a lot of what we do is about health span, so this shortening this difference between our lifespan, the length of our life, and how much of this life we are able to live in full force. And let me add, when we talk about mission, we like to say that we like to be life changer. So we like every client which is getting in interaction with us to have their life change for the better.
So why do you think the UAE and the wider region have become such important hub for longevity and preventive health?
Yeah, so I think this is a very good question because it goes to the three reasons why we are here. And first of all, we have been Clinique La Prairie. It's almost 100-year company, but it was over 10 years ago. We were the first, between the first for sure, to talk about longevity, which is now again it's a very big movement. And at that time, we set this very clear strategy, which we call our health ecosystem, which is an idea of making big clinics like the one that we have in Montreux, and we just opened China last year. I was in Saudi yesterday because we have a big clinic in Amaala opening, a 400 million investment, biggest investment ever done in longevity. We have Phuket opening next year, and these are what we call health resort, which are the big clinics. But then we wanted to follow up and we wanted to be present in all the major cities all around the world. That's why we created the concept of the Longevity Hub by Clinique La Prairie, which is the concept that we have here in Dubai. The three reasons why we are here in Dubai. First of all, because we have a lot of clients coming from Dubai to Montreux, so we wanted to help them to follow up once they are back in Dubai. Second reason, we found an incredible partner here, which is One and Only. And we have already signed for another development with them in New York, which is going to open in 2 years. And last but not least, we feel that the people in Dubai are ready to understand longevity. And like you said, we are here since over 2 years, but now it seems like every week there is a new longevity clinics opening. So it means that we were right 2 years ago. And here we feel really what we call longevity enthusiasts, a lot of people which are really enthusiastic about longevity and they want to go full into a longevity journey.
So Dubai already has many wellness offerings. What makes the longevity hub in One Zabil fundamentally different from a typical luxury spa or a medical center?
Yeah, so first of all, we are very different from, in general, longevity is very different from wellness, from a simple spa. I like to simplify longevity process into 3 steps: diagnostic, intervention, and follow-up. Okay. So what you find in Clinique La Prairie and what you find in a longevity hub like the one Longevity Hub by Clinique La Prairie, One Zabil, is that you have this really comprehensive ecosystem of longevity. So you have the possibility to have a diagnostic. Diagnostic is very important to understand the way your body works, because only if we are able to understand the way your body works, we are able to customize an intervention. And then the intervention is the holistic intervention of Clinique La Prairie, which is what we call our 4 pillar. Medical, very important, but cannot be alone. Nutrition is the second pillar. Well-being, which is all the spiritual well-being, and stress is so critical for our inflammation and for our longevity. And the last pillar is movement. So what makes us different is that you find doctor, you find therapist, you find the best expert in these 4 pillars, and this is a circle. Diagnostic, intervention, follow-up. We see which are the intervention which are working, and we create a circle which is again as the objective to make your life longer and better.
Nice. And considering this day and age, like there's a lot of stress around, especially I think since COVID, like the mental health and everything is getting affected day by day with ongoing stress. So for that, to cater that, like it's the best thing we can go for.
Yeah. Listen, thank you for this question, because if you look at the journey of Clinique La Prairie, we have program, and our most important program is called revitalization, which is focused on the immune system. Then we build a program which is called premium revitalization, which is focused on all your system of your body. And then they ask us, can you do a program on detox? And we did the master detox, which I believe is the most sophisticated detox program. And then we work on the brain, because a lot of our clients, they were telling us, I want to be sharp, I want to be continue to be sharp even when I get older. Okay. But then we ask ourselves a question. I mean, if your body is working perfectly, but you are unhappy and depressed, what's the meaning, no? So like you were saying, there are so many people now which has kind of mental disorder. We're talking about burnout. That 1 person out of 2 is incredible. 1 person out of 2 is experiencing some burnout. So we decided to launch this new program. It's called Life Reset, which is exactly focused on this. So we created a very sophisticated model. It's called the 9 hallmarks of mental well-being. So in 1 week, we want to make a kind of total reset of your life.
Yeah, and especially like so many diseases also coming up, and people get affected mentally when someone is going through some life-threatening disease as well.
Exactly.
So for that also, it will be definitely a very good support for people, anyone suffering from any such thing.
Exactly. And as you were saying before, stress is one of the main reasons of our inflammation.
Agreed.
And that inflammation is exactly what is making us aging. So it's super important to tackle this problem.
So the Amaala Health Resort is being called a global first. What experience will guests find there that doesn't exist anywhere else?
Yeah, it's Amaala, the project that we are doing in Saudi. It's a project that started many years ago. It was over 5 years ago. It's going to be an incredible development. Only 50 rooms. I was telling you, a very big investment. It's the first center that we build where you have represented in the architecture of the building our 4 pillars. So if you see it, the photo is amazing. You see the medical pillar, the nutritional pillar, the well-being and the movement. You see in the middle what we call a longevity plaza, where we want our clients to sit there and see how their life should be, no? In a very holistic way. And there is always this soul of Clinique La Prairie, which is a very small number of clients, very high personalization, the best competence. I like to call it our 3C philosophy, where you have the best competence, the best care, because don't forget that our business, first of all, is about taking care of people, and last but not least, customization, which is what we were discussing before. This idea that everything in longevity, in well-being, in wellness must be personalized.
So the Life Reset program has been described as a pioneering science-based approach to restore balance and mental resilience. Yeah. Can you explain how it works and who's it designed for?
Yeah, so it's, first of all, when we talk about the program in Clinique La Prairie, this is what we did for all our program. And again, 2 years ago, we launched the Brain Potential, which was a kind of revolution in a kind of clinical setting, there is always, everything starts always with science. That's why in Montreux we have 50 doctors. That's why we have a big research. I was telling you about the fund. So before launching this program, which was a need that came from our clients, as I was telling you, they were coming to us and were saying, I'm super happy about what you did about my energy, vitality, but can you do something also to help me overcome mental barrier problem, stress? And so we start to study, and we created this, we are going to now publish a white paper. It's called the 9 Hallmarks of Mental Well-being. And this was the base of the creation of our program, which is again is a program which is always based on our 4 pillars, because you are going to still have a very strong medical part, but then you have the other pillars, and you have the best expert which are going to help you. Really, we want this week, that's why we call Life Reset. I have to confess you that initially Life Reset was a working name, but we decided to keep this name because we want really in the mind of the people to have 1 week every year where they can come at Clinique La Prairie and have a total reset of their life.
Okay, and like how many times do like people need to follow up, like in a year?
Listen, here when you come, usually the people that are coming here to the Longevity Hub, a lot of them, they come almost every day. It's becoming a kind of routine. And here we have doctors which can help you to set up a program, to set up a plan, because again, as we were said, longevity is about consistency. It's much better to do something every day, maybe small, than doing something once a month. So again, you need to put a routine of longevity in your life.
True, and you need to be consistent. And like they say, for 21 days, if you do something consistently, it becomes a habit later.
Habits, absolutely. And you know, habits is so important. Longevity must become an habit, because the problem is not what we know. I always say we need to move from information to transformation. If now we stop 100 people in Dubai and we ask them, do you know about eating salad and sleeping well and getting moved, they will tell you yes. The question is why they don't do it, right? So we must move from knowing to really change our identity and go toward an identity which is focused on longevity.
So are there any measurable outcomes or success stories you can share?
It's a very good question. You know, it depends a lot on the program, but I tell you what is really the metrics which is most important for us as a clinic. It's very simple, is the number of clients which are coming back. We have a very, very high number. More than 60% of our clients are coming back in Clinique La Prairie, and this is really the reason that is telling us that we have been able to be life changer. Because you see, if you come to the clinic, because we have wonderful view on the lake, wonderful food, nice room, that's amazing, but people are not going to come back for this. You have a lot of offering of similar hotel places like this. People are coming back to a clinic like Clinique La Prairie because they felt that they get result. And this is our objective, and again, come back to this idea of being life changer, is our philosophy. Every time we do an innovation, every time we bring something new to the clinic, we are always asking ourselves, is this innovation, is this technology, is this person helping our clients to change their life? And if we are able to change their life, the clients are coming back.
And how is the response here in Dubai?
The response is exceptional, I need to tell you. We have been again the first, because this idea of this holistic approach to longevity, we have been the first to do it. And we are really super, super happy about the traction of this center. It's growing very fast.
So what do you think makes people feel such an instant sense of calm when they enter your space?
Thank you very much. I think everything is built for this. And you know, when you are in a wellness place, also the design, the music,
definitely,
it's very important for this. Because you want to be like you are in Switzerland in the middle of the nature. Right? You come here, you are out really in a different world. True. And this is what our clients like, the space, the people. I come back to the people because this is so important. You know,
definitely.
I always say you need human to change human.
Agreed.
You can have a beautiful location, you can have something which costs millions, but then if you do your treatment, if you see your doctor and you are not satisfied by the person, then all the rest is completely useless, right? So what makes the difference is really the human, and I come back to the 3C I was telling you, the competence of the people, the care of the people, how they are able to customize and personalize your experience.
So we live in a world with supplements, trackers, IVs, data. Yet people feel more exhausted than ever. What's the real reason behind it?
That's a very profound question, and we could discuss about this a lot also about what we were saying about changing, no? Because we see that a lot of the app that we have are in reality, there is a very high drop rate. So we are taking the photo of the food for the first 3 or 4 days, but then we are not doing it anymore if you are, for example, in a diet. So again, I believe these tools are amazing tool, especially to keep, for example, our clients linked to the clinic. For example, if you talk about wearables to see if there has been improvement. Wearables in particular, I think has been very useful for helping us to get into new habits. But I believe what I was telling you before, you need a human, you need people, because you need a change at the end, you need a change of identity. And it's very true that you probably, you have also friends which are saying, I'm not gonna use any more trackers because I don't listen anymore to my body. I look at my phone, if the phone is telling me that I slept well, it means that I slept well. We should go back also to listen to our body. These are very important tools.
True.
And for example, AI is going to be amazing also in our health and in longevity. Now we are using it a lot to help our doctor, to help our clients. But now we are giving these tools to our doctor, not directly to our clients, because we want to keep this, again, this human connection with our customer and with our clients. And where you were talking about stress and people are anxious about all these tools, that's also where the doctor is so important. We see a lot of our clients which are reassured in a conversation with the doctor. Maybe they are not happy, the test didn't come out so well. We do a lot of testing. We have a set of tests which is called Longevity Master Assessment. It's 300 biomarkers. But then they have this relationship with the doctors, and part of the importance of our team is really to reassure you, because at the end we want you to be reassured and to start a journey, because it's in the long term that you get the effect.
So is aging today faster because of biology or because of lifestyle overload?
When they ask me what has been the biggest innovation in longevity, I don't talk about the drugs, but I talk about the discovery that is not our genetic, is not our gene, is not what our parents gave to us, which make the difference, but what is called epigenetic. Epigenetic is how lifestyle is influencing our gene, right?
Okay.
I make you a simple example, because I have twins. They have the same gene. Imagine that one of my twins is eating French fries every day and not sleeping enough, and the other one is eating salad and sleeping and doing sport. You understand that in 10 years their life is going to be very different, despite they have the same genetic, right? So what is affecting our aging process is especially lifestyle. So this is an amazing discovery, because it means that if we change our lifestyle, we can change the way we express our gene, and this is really what makes the difference. All what we are discussing now, what we do in our clinics, the process of longevity, this idea of mapping, intervention, it's all based on the fact that there is a lot that we can do in changing our lifestyle.
So what do you think, what lifestyle changes can we, make to not age faster? I would like to know that.
Listen, I need to go back to our 4 pillars. You need to have all the medical part. Today we have incredible advancement. We are talking about just this idea of having personalized checkup. Today you can anticipate a lot the disease that you're going to have in the next year. This is super important. But then we're talking about nutrition. Nutrition is so powerful, right? We're talking about the 3rd pillar, well-being, and here you have stress, sleep, so important. Now they say that if you need to choose something for longevity, sleep well, and decrease the stress as much as you can. And here you have also ancient therapies, like I always talk about transcendental meditation, breathing technique. And then the last is movement. We know how important it is to move. It's the best pills ever. So I need to answer to you, there is not the magic pill, unfortunately. I don't have just one pill to give to you, but it's an holistic approach which is making the difference in the long term.
And like how many hours of sleep? Like some people say it should be 8, some say 12. So like how many hours do you think?
What is interesting in this question is that now we have very sophisticated tests which are...
considering, sorry to interrupt you, considering because of some people are really busy with work. What about them?
Yeah, exactly. Because then, we see sometimes people in social media which are doing all this kind of stuff. But I mean, I don't know you, we don't have time, no? We are already working a lot, 12 hours a day. So we need to have routine which are manageable in our daily life. But to answer to your question, what I think is most important is that today science is telling us that superficially we are all the same, but in reality we are all very different. So when you ask me how many hours do I need to sleep, is fasting good, is intermittent fasting good, I need to answer it depends. It depends on you. That's why it's very important to have a professional which is looking at you and understanding what is working for you. Because maybe 7 hours are enough, maybe these 7 hours are not enough, maybe intermittent fasting is good for you, maybe it's not good for you. So every time you have an intervention in longevity, it must be personalized on you.
So if you had to pick one emerging longevity technology that will completely transform how we age in the next 10 years, what would it be?
Listen, we have a lot of new development. I want to come back to my point about the fact that I don't think we should all hope for a magic pill. So we don't have just to postpone all the healthy habit I was mentioning to you, this idea of an holistic approach, because we hope that one day we're going to have a magic pill. So, but there are a lot of interesting development today coming. A lot are already there. Everybody is now talking about stem cell. You heard about it's by the way very hot here in GCC. We talk about senescent cell, which senescent cell. I don't know if you heard about senescent cell. So imagine, to simplify it to you, at a certain point, cells start to duplicate, but instead of dying, they remain in our body. It's like you have the garbage of your house. Instead of bringing out every day and throw away the garbage, you keep the garbage mounting in your house.
Okay.
And this is creating inflammation. So now we have very interesting technology which are able to get rid of this senescent cell. And then we have other very sophisticated technology which are related to gene reprogramming. It's called CRISP technology, which are going to be very sophisticated today, used really in very selected disease, but potentially they are growing. These technologies are growing in the future, and then we have like scientific development which are already there, like the possibility to grow organ outside the body. So these are a lot of new technology which are going to be developed in the next year, and maybe artificial intelligence is going to help us a lot to make this technology available faster.
So is longevity only about living longer or living better?
Very good question. As I was telling you, we believe it's about, first of all, living better. We are living in average 10 years of our life not in the full ability of really expressing our vitality. So the difference between lifespan and health span, depending on the country, but is between 8 to 12 years. So before we look on how to live 10 years more, let's try to fix this gap, which unfortunately is not even becoming shorter, is becoming bigger, because unfortunately we talk a lot about longevity, but society is going in a different direction. You see all the diseases which are growing. Medicine is fantastic, but we need to have medicine with what I call a pro-longevity lifestyle. We don't have to get the disease hoping that medicine is going to help us to fix it. So again, is the point here is to have a routine in our life, which is a routine of longevity, and shortening this gap. And to answer to your question, first living better, living healthier, and then living longer.
Otherwise, there's no point, no health. So health is everything.
Exactly. You know, they say health is the only thing that you don't think about it when you have it, but it's the only thing that you think about when you don't have it.
Exactly. But they have all the money in the world, you don't have health, it means nothing.
It means nothing, exactly.
So now we're going to start with quick rapid fire round. So one food that slows aging.
One food that
slows aging.
Super important drink. Stay hydrated every day.
One habit that keeps you young.
Can I say 3?
3?
Yes. First of all, as I said, put these habits, put a longevity routine at the beginning of your day. For me, is meditation, movement, and something for your well-being.
One habit you wish people would quit immediately.
I would say, without talking about, of course, what we know, smoking, I would say all which is building stress in your body. So we should learn to let it go a little bit more.
Tech or nature for well-being?
I need to tell you both. Today you cannot live without technology.
Okay. Life reset program, mind or body first?
Mind first.
Desert or ocean for wellness retreats?
I think it depends on you. What is going to make you more happy?
Okay. One destination on your wellness bucket list?
There are, I would say, two. One I need to mention. I always like to be back in Phuket, and we have a wonderful center which is opening there.
Okay.
And then Bali.
Favorite book or podcast on well-being?
I like very much the book of Peter Attia and the podcast on Peter Attia, and the book is called Outlive.
Most surprising guest request you have ever received?
Can I have your chef, your therapist, your doctor in the house with me all year long?
Okay. If you could invent one wellness gadget, what would it be?
A kind of pills which is making you all the benefit of transcendental meditation without needing 20 minutes twice a day.
One word that defines Clinique La Prairie.
Being life changer.
So thank you so much, Simone, for sharing insights and vision with us. And it was pleasure learning about Clinique La Prairie.
Thank you very much for this wonderful interview.
You're welcome.
Thank you.